Welcome back. Now, the purge in the Jubilee Party continues, albeit with some surprises. And of course, all focus and all roads today led to State House, where that Jubilee Coalition parliamentary group meeting took place. What were the implications there? What happened during that meeting? That's what we want to find out. Joining us live first is Honorable Aden Duale, Majority Leader in the National Assembly, Garissa Township MP, together with Honorable Kositany, who is the Deputy Secretary General of the Jubilee Party and also the MP for Soy. I want to begin with you, Honorable Duale. Honorable Kositany, I'll be coming to you shortly. Honorable Duale, now we've received conflicting reports of what actually happened today at State House. Some have said that your fate was not discussed at all. Others say that the party leader, who is the president, told you or told those present that in the next 2 weeks, your fate would be made clear. In your own words, Honorable Duale, please describe briefly what happened at State House today, especially in regards to your role as the majority leader.
State House is not a center of rumors. State House is a house where the president resides, is a house that depicts the unity of the nation. And I am sure you have a statement from the spokesperson of the president, and I think you should go by that. Anything else, maybe you can ask those who have alleged that statement. I am not party to that.
So you did not at any point...
We had a very good parliamentary group meeting where 212 members of our Jubilee and partners attended, short of four members. Our party leader and the president and the deputy party leader and the deputy president and the secretary general of our party were present. And we had a very robust engagement, of which we made changes. And we have communicated the same to the speaker. And Jubilee walked out of State House, in my opinion, a very united party.
Fair enough. Now, what do you then say to the MPs who are telling us tonight that what was actually said about your position is that its real fate will be known in 2 weeks? Are they imagining this? Was that not said?
You know,
it's a yes or no, Honorable Duale.
The leadership, I respect. You know, we are a party and we are a government. And we have a structure. So in a parliamentary group meeting, it's chaired by the party leader and the president.
Okay.
Members of parliament. And you know, you are not naming these members of parliament, unfortunately. You are just saying members of parliament.
We protect our sources.
212 members of parliament attended. I mean, to be very honest, you should have said so and so is saying. I am telling you that we had a party meeting led by the party leader, who is the President of the Republic of Kenya, and communication has been made. Anything else, I am not morally and legally allowed to comment on rumors.
Okay. Let me take you back. You know, in the build-up to today's meeting, there's a lot of speculation about what would happen to the post of majority leader. Many said Duale's time is up. You've been serving since 2013. And there are a lot of assumptions that you are, quote-unquote, on the chopping board. What do you think changed between those statements and what happened this morning?
Let me tell you, I had the privilege under the new constitution to be the founder and the occupant of the office of the leader of majority, a constitutional office under Article 108. And I want to thank the president then and the colleagues, parliamentary group of Jubilee, who bestowed me with that privilege. Each and every member of Jubilee is equal to the task. And again in 2017, the president himself and the Jubilee Parliamentary Group gave me an opportunity again to serve. And again, for the third time today, the party gave me that opportunity. It's a privilege. It's not something that I have earned. And I am sure is absolute confidence they have on my leadership. And let me also make it very clear that nobody in this country under the new constitution will stay in an office until the end of his life. I mean, a time will come when there will be another leader of majority.
Fair enough.
But I want to thank the president and the colleagues of the party for giving me that opportunity and privilege. And when the time comes, even if it's going to be tomorrow, I am sure I will go down in history as the first occupant of the office of the majority leader under the new constitution of 2010. And whoever will come after me, he will find an office that has what it takes in terms of infrastructure, in terms of the men and women who work.
Fair enough.
Also want to thank
I
the
still
speaker
feel
and the clerk.
Yes, Honorable Duale.
Who I worked with. So I mean, it's not life and death. I mean,
for those, and I ask you this.
Even the president serves for 10 years.
I ask you this because today many have branded you, Honorable Duale, many have branded you tonight as a survivor, that you survived by the skin of your teeth. Why do you think this is? That is the perception out there, Honorable Duale, tonight.
You know, I didn't have an accident today, so I don't know why you use the word survivor. And secondly, I also saw you say either a survivor or a prisoner of war. Neither am I in a captivity of any group as a prisoner of war, and neither have I gone through an accident in the course of the day. It was a good day for me. I woke up from my house, went to State House, attended a parliamentary group meeting chaired by my party leader and the president. We've agreed on the reform agenda. He's made it very, very clearly that he wants men and women who can deliver, who can work with him the remaining 2 years of his administration. I've made that commitment.
Okay.
I came back to Parliament. I took part in the whole afternoon deliberations. And as I'm speaking to you, I'm at home, so I had no accident, so I'm not a survivor.
I did not mean it in a literal sense.
I am not a captive. I'm not a captive, neither a prisoner of war.
But you are the majority leader tonight over a parliament that in many ways seems whipped into submission by the executive. And many Kenyans are wondering tonight if that parliament can oversight the executive properly, especially when the majority leader, and that is you, has pledged his allegiance to the president at least twice in this interview already. Can you oversight the executive for the remaining 2 or so years, Honorable Duale, together with Parliament?
Waigua, I think you need first to understand the architecture of a presidential system of government. The majority leader, whether it is Nancy Pelosi or her colleague from the Republican Party, their allegiance and their loyalty is to the party, is to the president.
Yes.
And I mean, you saw how the Senate and the House of Representatives in the US voted on the impeachment of the President Trump. So,
but you are also Garissa Township.
You commit. Well, no. Let me finish. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
There's no crime you commit. So, when you are a member of the ruling party in any parliamentary presidential jurisdiction, what are you implementing? You are implementing the manifesto of that party, which you are part and parcel. So in fact, in a presidential system, the line is so narrow between the executive and the legislature. So we do oversight. We have committees. If you pick a copy of the budget and appropriation report on the budget for 2020-2021, that is now to be tabled maybe on Thursday, you will see and have a chat with the Minister for National Treasury. You will see how committees interrogate either it's legislation, whether it is, but I want to make it very clear that in a presidential system, we, the members of parliament, campaign with the president, we win, we form the executive. The agenda of the Jubilee members of parliament is the agenda of government, is the agenda of the president, period.
Okay. Of course, it makes me question then the term independence of parliament. It reminds me of when we last had you on Newsnight with Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen, who was then the Senate Majority Leader, and he spoke of a captured parliament, one that takes direct orders from the executive. And tonight, in many ways, you're not denying that. And I guess many of our viewers will question.
Don't change the words for my good friend, Honorable Senator Murkomen. My beef with Honorable Murkomen was, he said, Parliament is dead. And I said, no, Kenya has a bicameral parliament. So you are in charge of the Senate then, say the Senate is dead. The National Assembly is not dead. So that was our bone of contention. But I can tell you, if you talk to your colleagues who cover parliament, who cover the committees, you will see that a lot of oversight, vetting of nominees takes place in the National Assembly. Independent institutions like the Office of the DPP, EACC, Inspector General of Police, the Auditor General, the Controller of Budget, they all report to Parliament. This afternoon, I have tabled the debt portfolio of the Kenya government, a document presented to Parliament for scrutiny by the National Treasury, and it was referred to the Budget and Appropriation Committee to study. So if you talk to your colleagues or if you cover Parliament, the same like other jurisdiction, Parliament plays its oversight role.
Okay, and I'll get I had a question actually on debt, and I'll be coming to that shortly, but let me bring in Honorable Caleb Kositany, who was also in that PG meeting at State House this morning. Honorable Kositany, thank you for making time for us on Newsnight. Of course, having seen what happened with the Senate PG meeting, where many of those who are in what is called tanga-tanga with you did not attend for one reason or the other, did you and your colleagues see it fit to attend this PG out of conviction that you wanted to be there, out of fear of the consequences that could come out of not attending? What was your reason for attending that PG this morning, Honorable Kositany?
Well, thank you, Wahiga, for having me this evening. I think majority of us attended the PG meeting because we got the invite. It was sent to our phones. Some got it as late as yesterday evening. And they traveled all the way. I know the women rep for West Pokot who traveled overnight just to be there for the PG meeting, which to me was a very interesting meeting, I must say. My understanding of a PG meeting is where you sit and consult and deliberate and give your views, and the party leader and the deputy party leader listen to what we have to say as members. But unfortunately, that opportunity has never arisen in any PG meeting that we've had as Jubilee, not even the one we had today.
What was the format of today's meeting? And Honorable Duale can hear you. I'll also give him a chance to respond. What was he's called it a very good meeting.
Well, the format of today's meeting was, the message we got was the meeting was to start at 9 a.m. And I think 99% of the members were punctual. We waited until about 11. The president walked in, the deputy president, and the secretary general. And the master of ceremony invited somebody to say a word of prayer, Honorable Peris Tobiko. After that, the SG Tuju made very brief remarks, invited the deputy president, and then the president. And that was, after the president's speech, that was the end of the meeting. We were promised another meeting in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, whereby he actually told those who had raised their hands because they wanted to make comments that they will have an opportunity then to air their views and make comments. So that was the meeting that we have waited for 3 years. It lasted about 25 minutes.
My goodness, you sound quite disappointed. What was the key message that the president delivered in that meeting?
Well, the key message was making changes in the leadership of Parliament. replacing Honorable Ashali and Honorable Cecily Barire, and a comment that there will be more changes within the parliamentary leadership in terms of chairmanship of the leadership of the committees, parliamentary committees, which to me was very sad. We can't have been asking for a PG for 3 years, and then when we get one, we don't even get an opportunity to know how we've been. We haven't met with our president, our party leader, for 3 years. And when we meet, it's only him talking to us. It's sad that the Jubilee Party has become a top-down approach rather than down-up.
Okay. Honorable Duale is on the line, and there has been a bit of confusion on what his fate actually was today, whether it was discussed in that PG meeting or not. In your view, Honorable Kositany, was Honorable Duale, quote-unquote, saved? Can he breathe easy moving forward? Or do you feel that that next PG meeting could still have his position as one of the talking points in the agenda?
Well, I think we were told there are more changes coming. So I think anybody who is aligned to the Deputy President should just be on their toes, and their time is coming any moment. You can even see from Honorable Duale's tone. I watched an earlier interview he did with one of the media houses. Today he has not mentioned the Deputy President. So it seems he's now towing the line that he's supposed to tow. And don't associate with the Deputy President, you might survive. So it's a sad affair for Jubilee as a party that we built knowing and with the intention of eliminating tribalism, building democracy, respecting other people's views, and we have a lot of faith that we need to bring back Jubilee on track. At the moment, we have lost track. We are heading in a very opposite direction. We actually have a lot to discuss with our party leader, but that opportunity that we thought we had today, because if you have waited, Wahiga, for 3 years for a PG meeting, it cannot surely. You wait for 2 hours as 200 members of parliament wait for 2 hours. The party leader comes and the meeting is over in 25 minutes. Even before it started, some members said, "You mean it's over?" Really, we need to have a discussion. PG is a forum whereby all these things that people have been saying at public rallies, at funerals, at church functions, those are the things you bring in there, discuss under closed doors, and then when you leave, before you leave, you have a united approach to everything, and you leave as a united party.
But
I think today we left State House a disappointed person. We were not given that opportunity.
I want to hear from Honorable Aden Duale. It sounds like you and Honorable Kositany attended 2 different meetings today. Honorable Duale, you speak of a very good meeting, a very productive one. He doesn't.
Maybe the difference is that I was not hearing Honorable Kositany very well. Maybe you need to tell me what he said, but what I told you is what has happened. Maybe if you can recap for me what he said. Different from what I'm saying.
In a nutshell, Honorable Duale, he felt that members were not given a chance to share out what they feel are key issues affecting the party, the way of the party, etc. After waiting for 2 hours till about 11 o'clock, only 25 minutes was accorded to the meeting, a top-down sort of communication, and then the meeting was dismissed thereafter. And that is not what Honorable Kositany was expecting after 3 years. For you, what was your expectation, and was that it?
I think, let me make it very, very clearly and put the position in the best perspective. Number one, we are having a parliamentary group meeting under the COVID-19 pandemic situation. So that meeting, ideally because of the situation, was supposed to be a short meeting. 2, and more fundamentally, this meeting was called by the president. And it was a PG called by the president. And the president made 3 statements, key statements. And I'm sure colleagues who are watching were there. And one of them was that he needs us to focus the remaining 2 years, both in terms of delivery of our manifesto. He picked on areas, including my own constituency, where, today he's proud that under his leadership, the national grid has reached. And he said, we have some business and social contract with the people of Kenya. And secondly, he said, even in the anticipated reform agenda, he will call a PG in the next 3 weeks when this, we hope this COVID-19 pandemic will reduce, so that we, as a party, we discuss and make our own views, each and every member. And finally, as he did during the time of the Senate, I was not there. And I think during his interview last week, he said more than ever before, he wants men and women he wants to work with in order to deliver his remaining 2 years legacy projects. And finally, he asked for the changes of leadership. And exactly that is what went. And if you go to the speaker,
okay,
because the minutes and the names were delivered to the minister this afternoon by my own office. So this was because of the unique situation. I mean, imagine having 212 members of parliament in one tent, of course with the distance, social distance, wearing of mask. So we didn't even expect that meeting to last very long.
Okay.
So that was the situation.
Honorable Duale, you remain the majority leader in parliament, but also very influential in a party that has factions in it. And one question by one of our viewers tonight, Abdi Nasir Kilas, is how will you balance the political equation by working with a divided team? On one hand, Tanga Tanga, on one hand, Kieleweke. How will you balance that? And some would even ask tonight, if you are forced to pledge allegiance to one side or the other, the Tanga Tanga side, said to be allied to the deputy president, and the Kieleweke side, I want to understand how you will navigate this. How you will navigate this.
You should have asked me how I've navigated the last 2 years.
No.
That should have been your question. You know, you're asking me. I mean, I'm not a new occupant of this office. And there are two things very important. The so-called, you are talking about amorphous groups, in our opinion, in parliament, are not recognized. The office of the majority leader deals with substantive government business. And forget about even how do I navigate within the Jubilee. I mean, the last 7 years, I have developed a very good working relationship with each and every member of parliament, regardless of his political affiliation. I have a very good working relationship with ODM and NASA, with independent members of parliament, with the members from small parties, with the members of Jubilee, regardless of their different formations outside those recognized by the standing orders. And there's a difference between politics and doing what the office, that constitutional office that was created by the Constitution of the leader of majority,
fair enough,
is entails to do. So my main focus is what am I supposed to be doing in as far as the office is concerned. My political affiliation is different. I mean, when the time comes, the elections, I mean, 2022, alliances will be different. But now I have a sole duty and be part of the presidency to make sure that the agenda of government, like I did it 7 years ago, I have never lost one single bill, one single government agenda.
All right.
I'm not, I mean, you can go to the records.
And I think you...
So that is my caliber. But to crown it all,
briefly, please go ahead.
I am not special. Any member of parliament out of the 347 can hold the post of the leader of majority, can become a chair, can become a deputy speaker, can be part of the speaker's panel, can become a vice chair. It's only that those of us who are privileged to have been given an opportunity to occupy those offices, we must do it with the diligence and the expectations that is expected of.
Thank you, Honorable Duale. I want
as holders of those offices.
Fair enough. I want to ask you to pause there. I want to bring in Honorable Kositany. I want to give you a chance to respond to what Honorable Duale has had to say, because you did ask him a question or two. But I also want to ask you this. Tonight you hold the role of Deputy Secretary General of the Jubilee Party. And there's a Twitter handle that has your name on it. Of course, it's not verified, so I don't know whether you'll say it's fake or not. But a tweet recently on that Twitter handle alluded to being removed from that position, that I am next on the chopping board, so to speak, having seen what's happened to others within the Jubilee Party who held leadership positions. Tonight, how safe do you feel, Honorable Kositany, as the Deputy Secretary General of the Jubilee Party? Are you concerned about the safety of yourself within that position?
I think I'd be very selfish to discuss how safe I am. I think how safe, the bigger question is how safe is the Jubilee Party? Where are we heading? Are we still on the track or are we off the track? And I think as we sit, we as Jubilee, we are not heading in the right direction. We are not doing things properly. And listening to Honorable Duale saying because of COVID-19 regulations, the meeting had to be short. We were there for 2 hours. We were there for 2 hours waiting. So maybe we should have been told to go there at 11 and leave at 11:25 if it was observing COVID regulations. So let us not give excuses using this COVID-19 pandemic in order to justify some things that we are doing wrong. As a matter of being a Jubilee Secretary General, that is a position I hold. If everything is done legally, then I would still be the SG. I am still the SG of Deputy SG of Jubilee. But if things are done the way we are seeing that we are not respecting the rule of law, then anytime I will not be the Deputy SG.
You've mentioned an interesting phrase there, if things are done legally or not in the right manner, illegally. Now, Honorable Tuju, who is your boss, the Secretary General of the Jubilee Party, recently said that discipline will be brought back to the Jubilee Party, discipline to a point where he alluded to factions within the party who write, for example, press releases, who issue communication from the party without going through the official channels. Could he, by any chance, have been referring to you? And that's a question from one of our viewers tonight.
Oh, certainly he was referring to me, but I would have loved, and I told you last time, I would have loved an interview where I'm one-on-one with Tuju. All the letters I have written, none of them has been for fun, none of them has been for my own interest. It has been for the interest of the majority of members of Jubilee who feel that the party is not being run in the right direction, is not being taken in the right direction. The letters I wrote to the county government of Kajiado, to the county government of Kirinyaga, and to the registrar of political parties, all of them have received positive responses. All of them have righted what Tuju had done wrong. All of them have brought democracy back to the party, whereby we need to run the political party, or rather Jubilee as a family, we need to run it as a political party that collects views and accommodates views from all the divergent views from all members of the party. But not an issue whereby people go and sit somewhere and decide today we are making changes in X-county leadership, we're removing the leader of majority, just by a letter. We need minutes of meetings. We need to know who attended those meetings and what were the deliberations, so that we all stick to the rule of law. It is very sad and very dangerous for this country now and going in the future if the ruling party is going to be the one that leads in the breaking the rules of law.
Honorable Kositany, how long can you and those for whom you subscribe to the same ideals complain for without actually doing something or carrying out some action beyond the complaints? I think that's one question that many wonder about tonight, because on this show, every week, it's the same complaints, but it seems that that's all that you're ready to do.
Well, it is, we will complain until whoever cares to listen will listen. And really, even if nobody listens, Kenyans are listening. God is listening. People know who is speaking the truth. And we speak because in 2022, people will judge us for what we said, for the wrongs that we let pass, for the wrongs that we righted. And we are all marking our report card for 2022. And remember, we are running a political party. Those with interest in politics in the future have a bigger stake than those who are retiring. So let us all accommodate each other, accept that we are all from different backgrounds, But we all have a stake in this country. And the most important thing is we need to lead Kenya in the right directions. Everybody is watching. Children are watching. The elderly are watching. And the world is even watching us. Such that at the moment when we are being told we have a lockdown, we have a curfew, we should stop politics, we should stop moving around, we should keep social distance, we have political meetings going on. And it is right for others to do it, and it is wrong for others to do it. So really, we need to have Kenya, let's have a fair playing field for everybody so that we may move forward and have a nice and peaceful country.
Okay, let me bring in Honorable Aden Duale, and I want to engage Honorable Duale as the majority leader. And of course, I'll also give you a chance to respond to anything Honorable Kositany had to say. But I'm curious to hear this from you. A lot is happening on the political scene at this moment, so much so that you're the majority leader of a party that is now in a working arrangement with the opposition to pass, among other things, constitutional reforms through the BBI process. Honorable Duale, tonight I want to hear from you, from the depths of your conscience. Do you find this an agreeable arrangement?
It's not the first time that a bipartisan constitutional reform has been passed in this country. There was the IPPG, if you remember, where political parties of different shade, the opposition and government then, particularly even that time of Mzee Moi, the KANU, came together and did minimum constitutional reform at that period. And Waigwa, we have not yet received the document. When the document comes, in terms of the draft bills, and is subjected to the various political parties, Jubilee included, and as a country we agree whether we will go either the popular initiative or the parliamentary initiative, and each party that will have a stand, then you can ask me that question. But one thing that I want to make it very clear is that the best constitutional reform that can take place in this country and which the president anticipates to happen is the one that is non-controversial, the one that is agreeable to all the political parties and people of all shades. So in fact, I am one person who believes that the reform agenda that we are going to introduce, apart from being one that will address the many gaps that we see in the 2010 Constitution and has the interests of the people of Kenya in terms of inclusivity, in terms of unity, is best addressed if all the political parties, the opposition and the ruling coalition and other small parties agree on, just like the IPPG.
Okay.
So there's nothing wrong. I mean, there's nothing wrong. Government party and the opposition coming together and agreeing on a roadmap, on reform agenda, if they all agree on the ingredients that is involved. And finally, political parties, when the election comes, they will compete. They will have candidates from MCA to the president. So there's no way, you know, when the elections reaches in 2022, for example, that the Jubilee and ODM will have a common candidate. I mean, we are now working together from where I sit, and even in Parliament, is that once the reform agenda, which is being cooked by the team led by Senator Haji, and leaves the kitchen and is brought on the table, it's the political parties to agree on the areas that they feel are non-controversial, that are in the interest of the people of Kenya, and we pass it together. So we even don't want to polarize the country in a very divisive reform agenda, whether it's parliamentary initiative, because if it is parliamentary initiative, you must have 2/3 majority. If it is a popular initiative, we don't want people to go out and again divide the people of Kenya. And so we don't want a polarized, and that I think is the intention of both the leadership in Jubilee and the leadership in the opposition.
Honorable Duale, when you read the mood of the
when
nation...
the time comes?
Yes.
When but let me tell you, when the time comes, on any reform agenda, not even political parties, even me as a member for Garissa Township, the people I represent have certain interests in any reform agenda in this country.
Okay, and that's what I want to ask you based. I want to ask you based on that.
The Muslims, all these, the general Kenyan population have interests, including the media.
The people that you represent tonight, Honorable Duale, if they come to you and say, these are our actual concerns today. We're concerned about police brutality. We're concerned about the state of the economy. We're concerned about rising debt. We're concerned that we cannot pay rent. If they say that is their priority today, would you say then that the priorities of the political class might not be in line with the priorities of the people?
Waigwa, I think you need to read my political history. Since I joined politics in 2007, I was a member of ODM. I became a member of URP. I joined forces with President Uhuru Kenyatta. We formed Jubilee to unify the country. The people of Garissa town, when we cross that bridge on the reform agenda, you'll hear my voice. Secondly, as a member for Garissa Township, and as a leader of majority, I don't need to shout from the rooftop. I don't need to shout from a funeral. I can even walk to either the president, who is the party leader, or the deputy president, or my colleagues, and agree on how to go about it. Secondly, on what ails the Kenyan people, whether it's the economy,
what is their concern today and now?
The debt level,
yes.
Whether it is police brutality. Yes, you need to go and read the Hansard the last Thursday before we went on the long recess. My sentiments on the floor of the House. I mean, we are the ones who run this government. I mean, we will defend government when it's right. We will tell government, both in private, that we're not doing well here. The President of the Republic of Kenya, Waigwa, apologized to the people of Kenya about police brutality. That is the President, not Honorable Duale. So let me make it very clear. I think that if you look at the speech of the President yesterday, quoting Tom Mboya and quoting the founding fathers of this nation, and all of us agree, and even the Deputy President, when he opposed the 2010 Constitution, he was not opposing the Constitution. He was saying there are certain areas we need to fix. So if we feel now, and the President today confirmed to the parliamentary group meeting that in 3 weeks' time, we will be back to look at the bigger agenda, the reform agenda. So this process must be a process that will be owned by the people of Kenya.
Okay.
Either through their representative or through a referendum, which is a popular initiative.
Let me allow.
So please read my history.
Yes, I am quite aware of your history.
I don't think Waigwa. No, I don't think Waigwa. The people of Garissa Township elected me 3 times in 3 different political parties.
Okay.
They elected me in ODM in 2007.
Okay, you've made your point.
As a URP member of parliament.
Majority leader.
They elected me in Jubilee.
Yes.
So what we are selling to the people, and that's why today Jubilee has 172 members of parliament, the largest political party next to ANC in Africa.
Okay.
A ruling party. You add our coalition. So it's not, I mean, it's a big house. It's not very rosy. You have, I'm sure in the rural areas, if you go, families with 10 kids, it's not rosy. There's nowhere. So we have challenges. But those are divergent views.
Okay.
And I'm sure at the end of the day, when we come together, when we sober up, when we respect each other, when we listen to the leaders, when we make sure that the social contract we have signed with the people of Kenya and who elected us back to power in 2017 delivered. Even 2022, Jubilee will form the next government.
Thank you, Honorable Duale. Thank you. Let me allow Honorable Kositany now to have a word. Honorable Kositany, before we take the feedback in terms of SMSs and tweets that our viewers have sent, the President spoke of a constitutional moment on Madaraka Day, and that this is the way he sees the nation should move forward. Now, some section or a faction within the Jubilee Party, the Tanga wing that you belong to, have raised questions in the past about whether it is necessary to amend the constitution at a time like this. Now, when a rallying call is given for MPs possibly to go around the country popularizing this constitutional bid, to make changes, what does that mean for you, Honorable Kositany, and for those who are from the Tanga wing? Is that something you are open to, you are discussing?
I don't know why you want me to speak on behalf of many others, but
okay, maybe speak on your own behalf then.
On my own behalf. I'll speak on my own behalf. My personal opinion is that, yes, we have issues with the Constitution. Yes, we need to make amendments to the Constitution, but I don't think the timing is right. The timing, I think, would have been right if it was done maybe before 2017 elections. But I think now there are too many interests coming in around. And I also think that we are in a very tight place economically as a country. We have more pressing issues. I'm sure if you went around and collected views from the common Mwananchi, whom we are representing, we are occupying positions on their behalf. Now, the referendum and the change of the Constitution is the last thing on their hands. We have our coffee farmers who are suffering. We have our maize farmers who we were told the other day by the Minister for Agriculture, the government is no longer going to purchase maize. That is a question that is from an area I represent, which is an agricultural area, we are dealing with. We're trying to internalize and digest how we're going to deal with it. We have people who are busy doing all sorts of businesses, and a lot of Kenyans are suffering now with the COVID-19 regulations and the pandemic that is going on. We have a lot to do. The last thing that needs to happen is for us to spend millions of money to change the Constitution, and instead of bringing back our economy on track. I think we need, first of all, to find out how are the lives of Kenyans. Can they sustain this? And really, can our economy sustain a referendum and then an election in two years' time? Really? Why not hold the referendum with the general election in 2017 and then implement it in 2022? And what can be implemented in Parliament now, then let us implement through the parliamentary initiative. But let us not spend colossal amount of money to change the Constitution when that can actually wait. And I think it is time that this top-down approach needs to stop. We need to listen to Wanjiku. We need to listen to the voters. We need to listen to the business community. We need to listen to the hawkers. We need to listen to the dairy farmer. We need to listen to the maize farmer. We need to listen to Mama Mboga. All those people matter. So let us collect their views. What do they want us to do? If they say referendum, then we'll go for it. And if we can afford it as a country without straining ourselves, then why not? But if it is going to strain us, let us do the things right.
Okay. This is what Kenyans are saying tonight via our various platforms. 22422 is the SMS line, and the hashtag is Newsnight. Let's put those up on the screen. Okay, let's look at the SMSs first. Fred Osiro is saying, Duale is a son who chose not to meddle in his parents' fights and got the love of his father, unlike the other siblings. Only question is, isn't he setting a bad precedence for his community about having no political say or stand nationally? Okay. That's from Fred Osiro. Let's take a look at another, a tweet now. This one coming in from Dennis Kirago 11. How will Jubilee survive after this with all the ousters, alleged betrayals, questions of loyalty to the party, and the party leader versus the deputy party leader? Okay, that's an interesting question. Another one here coming in from Amwai Bran. If someone is disloyal to the party and goes against it, then bullied to toe the line, what surety does the party have that they'll have the party's interest at heart? Because betrayal is betrayal. You'll force them in and they'll eat you alive. All right? Others here, remember the hashtag is Newsnight. David Makali 1 saying, usually vocal and militant, Honorable Aden Duale sounding and looking totally deflated. Story of politics and balloons? Okay, wow. David Makali there. I believe that's the veteran journalist. And GK Wamukanda says, Honorable Duale is a different man after the shake-up. Something shook him. Caleb Kositany seems his position is still on party democracy and freedom of expression to hold a different opinion without being regarded as disloyal. Okay, I want to give them a chance to respond to that. Honorable Duale, our viewers tonight feeling that you're coming out as a changed man tonight. You're very quiet, very, unlike the militant Duale we knew. They feel that something's changed in you.
They need to come and ask me and read the book called 48 Laws of Power.
Which law are you practicing? Which law are you practicing tonight?
No, you need to know. I won't tell you. It is 48, so if you have it, you can read. And just tell the viewers which one I am applying this evening.
Okay, and the last question, which is a tweet from Abdin Nasir Kilas, who's actually tweeted quite a bit today. He's asking, in an interview, Honorable Duale, that was conducted by senior political editor Francis Gashuri, Duale, you told Kenyans that you will not rest politically until your soulmate, Honorable Deputy President Ruto, will be at the top seat. Has your view changed? And related to that one, Swale Kasim is saying, ask Honorable Duale if he still stands with his words that he's ready to go home in 2022 and relax after ensuring that William Ruto becomes president. Do you still stand by those words, Honorable Duale?
Of course, when we reach 2022 and the political drum bells
is that a yes
beaten,
or a no, Honorable Duale?
No. When the political drum beats are beaten, then you'll see whether you can confirm my statement or not. I mean, I told you that we have some business to do, and when that comes, whatever we deliver to the people of Kenya, if that time William Ruto will become the flag bearer for the Jubilee, is a plus thing.
Okay, sorry, that last statement there, if William Ruto will be the Jubilee presidential candidate, then you will support him. Is that what you've said in a nutshell?
No, let me make it very, very clear.
Please do.
2022, 2013, I supported President Uhuru Kenyatta. 2017, our candidate was President Uhuru Kenyatta. Those of us who are in Jubilee, come 2022, when the time comes, our candidate, the only one who has now shown interest in the presidency from our party is William Ruto, and that's our candidate when the time comes. And now what are we doing? We are doing to make sure that we deliver to the people of Kenya the manifesto that all of us, led by President Uhuru Kenyatta, read to our supporters, went through 2 elections, won both the elections. The difference between us and the opposition is that we have a social contract.
Okay.
We will be put to task by the people of Kenya, not only our supporters. We need to convince even those who didn't support us in 2017.
You have answered my question already.
More roads.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
We have built more roads. We have built and connected more people to electricity. The economy has improved.
Okay.
We need, in fact, we need to have, I mean, in the next few months, we as a party, and the president has started with the stimulus package, we must have, is going to be part of every political party's manifesto gunning for power in 2022.
Okay.
To have it critically look at the post-COVID economic recovery plan. That will be the next government. In fact, will deal with that aspect of its own manifesto on economic recovery plan for, after the COVID-19 pandemic. Not only Kenya, every country in the world.
Fair enough, Honorable Duale. These were to be the parting.
And to my very good friend David Makali. I mean, I have a lot of respect for him. I mean, David, you know me, so you don't need to send that kind of a tweet.
Okay. I believe he's had your message. Honorable Kositany, the parting shot for you, a viewer asked about the future of Jubilee with everything that we're seeing happening, ousters, some say betrayals, deputy party leader versus party leader, etc. What Jubilee will emerge out of all this But a personal question to you, Honorable Kositany, and to those of you who support the Deputy President, some would say that today you are crying out that Kenyans have many problems that need solutions. And you listed a few of them just now. But a couple of months ago, when the campaign trail was open, you spent your weekends campaigning for the Deputy President in a race that is 2 to 3 years away. Some find it hard to believe that suddenly you are very concerned about Kenyans, while previously the future of the Deputy President seems to be your greater concern. Honorable Kositany.
Well, Wahiga, I don't think we have started campaigning for the Deputy President unless campaign has changed meaning or the fashion of campaign has changed. I know at campaign time we would have branded vehicles, we would have T-shirts all over, we'd have posters, and we'd be making a lot of noise. I think we have been, a lot of people, and I've said this before, and I wanted to go on record again, that a lot of people consider that you should engage with the wananchi and the voter only during election time. And when they see you going back to wananchi after elections to go and build churches, to go and listen to them, attending weddings, attending church functions, then they think you are campaigning. And that is where they have confused the Deputy President's love for engaging with the people. And that is where, Wahiga, we are picking these problems that the people are facing. Because we engage with them regularly, almost every weekend before the COVID-19 situation.
Honorable Kositany,
we were engaging in different forums.
These engagements,
so
Honorable
really,
Kositany, I want to interrupt you because those engagements are what many believe yes. The President asked you and you and others in the party to stop. He saw it as campaigns.
You know one thing, Wahiga, that we cannot stop, and I would want to say that categorically, because we are occupying positions courtesy of the people. We must. Those of us who hold a future for Jubilee and for the political persuasion in this country, we must engage with the people. If somebody comes and tells you that is campaign and you believe them, then I'm sorry, it's not campaign. Campaign time will come. We will be given a campaign timetable by the IEBC. So we will go. About the future of the Jubilee Party, it's actually very bleak. Because Wahiga, when you are removing people who have been efficient, Kipchumba Murkomen, Susan Kihika, Honorable Professor Kindiki, today we've had Washali, Cecily Mbarile. We're even told that the chairman of budget, Honorable Kimani Ichung'wah, and many other efficient chairmen. In fact, for the case of Kimani Ichung'wah, none other than the leader of minority, who is a member of the Budget and Appropriation Committee, Honorable Mbadi, said it on the floor of the House, that he has served in many budget committees under several chairmen, and he has never seen a chairman as efficient and as fine with his work as Kimani Ichung'wah. But we are told he's on top of the list to be removed, not because of inefficiency, because of being efficient, and of course he is associated or seen to be associated with the Deputy President. So the future of Jubilee is bleak, and it will be a sad day. Personally, I will be very disappointed, knowing that the reasons that brought us together to form the Jubilee Party, the reasons why the ideals that we held and which we still hold are going to die because of something called loyalty and you know, I don't even know how to put it.
Okay, I know we said the time is up. Honorable Duale, I want to give you 30 seconds. The future of the Jubilee Party, in your view?
I can't hear you. Can you repeat it?
The future of the Jubilee Party, in your view, this has to be brief, Honorable Duale.
I think the future of Jubilee Party, from where I sit, you know, there are turbulence in every party. I mean, there are turbulence now in Ford Kenya. There are turbulence. One time there was turbulence in ODM. During the time of Honorable Ababu Namwamba. Political parties in Kenya have a culture of turbulence. But I can confirm to you that the turbulence we are going through, both the captain and the deputy captain, who are the pilots, will be in charge. If we just retrace our footsteps, if we focus on what we promise the people of Kenya and bring our people together, the future is very bright for Jubilee after today. I mean, 212 members of parliament, chaired by the party leader and the president, attended by the Deputy Party Leader and the Deputy President with our Secretary General. I am sure, inshallah, Jubilee will be like ANC in the years to come.
Is the future bright for you, Honorable Duale, as Majority Leader? We hear that tonight signatures are being collected for your possible impeachment. Are you aware of that?
The procedure of electing and removing, I'm not aware of removing a leader of majority is stipulated in the standing orders. So those small things don't scare me.
They don't scare you. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for your time.
They don't scare me.
Okay, and he's repeated it twice for emphasis. Honorable Aden Duale, the Majority Leader in the National Assembly, and Garissa Township Member of Parliament, thank you for your time this evening. Together, Honorable Kositany, the Deputy Secretary General of the Jubilee Party, the Member of Parliament for Soy, speaking to me live on Newsnight this evening. And thank you for everyone who's tuned in to this program. Thank you for your feedback. Too many messages. We're not able to go through all of them, but thank you for weighing in on this discussion. On behalf of the whole team that's made this production possible, and of course our sign language interpreter tonight, Yulanzale, my name is Wahiga Mwaura, wishing you a safe and a good night.